THOCK. It's probably the most popular sound profile in custom keyboards. And if you have never heard of it, it's a way to describe how a keyboard sounds. It's a satisfying, deep sounding keyboard. Now, for the past 2 years, I've tried building the thockiest keyboard possible and trying to keep it within a budget range with whatever I have. And usually it's 3 very simple steps: a keyboard kit, some mods, and your switches. But this year, I wanted to do it a little differently. I'm sure most of you already know by now that pre-assembled boards come right out of the box sounding amazing. And on top of that, all the mods that you would want to create a thocky custom keyboard is already done for you. So this time around, we're gonna focus a lot more on switches. So before we get to the switches, let's get the keyboard kit and mods out of the way. If you haven't heard of this board by now, this is the Lucky 65 V2. I recently just did a full video on this kit. If you're unfamiliar with the specs that it has, you can go check it out. But I'm gonna give those of you who have watched it a short refresher. It's a 65% pre-built kit. If you're in Southeast Asia, you're looking at $39 US, and for the rest of the world, you're looking at $89 to $100 US. It has triple mode connection, a full aluminum body with a beautiful back weight, double shot PVT keycaps, the coconut latte switches, a FR4 plate, it's gasket mounted, has the ball catch system, has PE, plate, PCB, and case foam. And for reference, here's how it sounds. Now for internal mods, there isn't much to be done. What you want to do is just stuff the board with as much foam as possible. So the only change I would make to this kit is changing out the case foam. The case foam it has is more for removing case ping, but with a thicker piece of case foam, you can get a deeper, just stuffier, more dense sound profile. And to my haters out there who always say I push out foamy builds or always stuff every single build I have with foam, I want to ask you a question. What if that was my preference? What if I do prefer having foam in my keyboards? This whole hobby has and always will be about personal preference. So tell me, why is it wrong for me to use foam in the boards I build? It's just my preference, and you just have the complete opposite of what I like. But I get it, you know, certain boards like the CU series, this type of boards just are meant to be foamless, and I'm pretty sure I do foamless builds for those boards. I do foamless builds for nearly every single board I've reviewed so far this year. But yeah, I've just wanted to rant about that for a while because recently I've been seeing a lot of comments about how I always use foam, and I just wanted to say that. So yeah. Sorry, let's get back to the video. Now, before we get on to the main part of the video on switches, I do want to talk about keycaps. It's one of the only things I would change when I'm building with a pre-assembled board like the Lucky 65 V2. The keycap choice is pretty important. There are different profiles, there are different materials, and one of the best materials if you're trying to create a really deep sounding board is ceramic keycaps. These keycaps have never failed. They are way denser than your regular keycap, which really helps create that deeper sounding profile. As I mentioned at the beginning of the video, there are 3 main steps: the kit, the mods, and the switches. We have now settled the kit and the mods, which is basically ceramic keycaps and a thicker case foam. So now let's move on to our switches. I did a YouTube community post and an Instagram story asking you guys what you think are the thockiest switches. Follow me on Instagram if you haven't. And after 24 hours, I have over 20 switches to try. And if you're curious what the top 3 mentioned switches were, we have the Gateron All Kings in first place, the Keygeek MZ Studio Y3 in second, and the Echo Rosewood in third place. The Gateron All Kings got mentioned a total of 10 times. It's a lot. And so I started hunting for every single switch you guys have mentioned, except for those that I have tried and do know are just not thocky. I didn't add those into the list. But to complete the list that you guys have provided me, I had to go to 3 different stores, order some from online, but I did manage to get it done. Huge shout out to K.Techs and Pantheon keys. They did provide me with a huge variety of switches. So every single switch you see showcased, I'll have links for all of them down below. Alright, so here's every single switch we will be trying out. We have the Echo Rosewoods, Gateron All Kings, the Gateron Type R, Gateron Luna Probe, Gateron Unicorn, Keygeek MZ Studio Y3, Keygeek Blue Cheese V2, Vertex V1s, Wuche Morandis, A-Bot Navy's R1.5, Duroc Ice Kings, Gazoo Linear Thock, Gazoo Boba U4Ts, Moyu Studio Hades V2, MMD Princess V4. So let's not waste any time, let's do a quick test on all of them. Now, before we go over which switches are actually deep sounding, I do want to clear up a common misconception around what is the thockiest switch. That doesn't really exist, it's more of which switch will help your keyboard produce thock. If your kit isn't built or modded to sound thocky, then you can use the deeper sounding switches and it wouldn't work at all. Anyway, let's get into it. I have shortlisted the amount of switches. From 20 plus switches, we are now down to 4 switches. We have the Echo Rosewoods, the Gadron Unicorns, the Ice Kings, and the Y3 switches. These 4 switches I think will help your board, or in my case the Lucky 65 V2, it will help it thock the best. So in order to compare these further, I'll be throwing on the ceramic keycaps and doing a full typing test to get a better idea of the general bigger picture of how it sounds. So in my opinion, they all sound really good, but in terms of deepest sounding switches that help this board, I would say Echo Rosewoods. Echo Rosewoods are stupidly deep. I don't understand how they can sound so deep, but in terms of which mic is best at capturing it, I think the camera mic is closest to capturing the sound profile of the Echo Rosewoods. And on top of that, I think the overall sound and build with the Echo Rosewoods just sound a little too muted, and there is also a slight scratch to the switches that I don't think the mic is actually picking up, and it doesn't really sound that pleasing. As for what I think sounds best, I think that the Y3s and the Ice Kings come really close. On top of achieving a deep sound, it has that creamy marbly sound that pairs really well because of the PE foam, and it just sounds really satisfying in general. If you like foam in your keyboard, I'm pretty sure you understand what I'm talking about when I say that creamy sound profile. So in the end, I decided to go with the Y3s. In person, I can tell that the Y3s actually sound a little deeper compared to the Ice Kings. I hope the mic is able to capture it. On top of that, the Y3s make the modifiers sound a lot better compared to the Ice Kings. But say you're trying to achieve this build but without ceramic keycaps, I think there wouldn't be a huge difference between Y3 or Ice Kings. Whichever is more accessible to you for you to buy, I think it wouldn't really make a huge difference. So of course, for the final typing test, we always need the t-shirt under the keyboard. So here is my thockiest version of the Lucky 65 V2. So if you're interested in any of the switches or anything I've used in this video, be it the kit or a certain switch that you liked, I'll have it linked all down below. Thank you so much once again to Pantheon and K.Techs for providing me with these switches. And if you want a more in-depth review of the Lucky 65 V2, there is one on the channel. Just go back, I think 2 or 3 videos, you'll find it right there. Do check it out. Aside from that, subscribe if you enjoy my content, like this video if you enjoyed this video, comment what sort of a board you would want me to work on next. Maybe not thockiest, we could do clackiest, we could do poppiest, anything at all. Just let me know down below and I'll see what I can do. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.